Tequila Salnay de haber pedido para pasar sin que yo le dan para el año de Varela, me ataba a dolar, aleluya. Será visitar el Señor Abad, amén. Y alma y verás que se bendice, se ve más tener de carene. Amén. 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 Baruch atah Adonai Elohei Avotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Hayah Elohim Elohim Ve'amara Elion Gomez Tovim Koneh Hakol Ve'Sohei Chazei Avoy Shemevii Goel Yimim Benem Be'man Shemo Be'Ahava Melech Oseh Moshe Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham Thank you for Roland Adonai Mechayim Esim Otar Ola Kashia Mashiach Dua Morit HaKeshem Menachim Bechesem Megayem Esim Beracham Uravim Somech Mavlim Berofech Oilim Matir Asurin Mekayem Unesov כשנהיה אחר מין כמוך בארץ ובורות ומית המלך מלך תמיד ומקיים ומהיה ישוע בני מנות המסים ברוך אתה אדוני מחייך המסים קדושה כקצוע נביאיה וקרצה ביאמר תרשים בכל יום ינהלו חצר הברוך את אדוני מלמד ליהנות מן העננו מנצח חמה בינה בדעת ברוך את אדוני מן הדעת רבנו אבינו לסורסך ותקבלנו מרתנו לעבודתך ותקבלנו בתשובה תקדם על לפניך ברוך את אדוני עושה בתשובה לנו אבינו כי חטאנו מכל אדם מרתנו כי חשנו כי טוב וצלחת ברוך את אדוני חנות המרבה לנסוע הנה בידינו ולרובה ליבנו Amen. Dice y haciendo hasta de alea rupa o sheleno a toma cocina aquí el mel rofene man de la camana ta paru ta Adonai fe kolei amo Israel amen y es todo bien eso sabe todo se tal o no tal liberajal tenés a la mama saben no te vas a morir se nacen que se minha to vos libertad y el top ומתי בתא ומברך השנים ברוך אתה אדוני מברך השנים אתה בשפט גדול למשנה המסנס יבס כדורסנו וכדורסנו יחכם מהבוק הפועל ירסנו ברוך אתה אדוני מברך קדשי עמו ישראל שבא שתנה תורה ראשונה וירסנו תפילה ביחסים ממנו יגום ביחנו לא עלינו אתה אדוני לבדך בחסד וברחמים בסדר ומשפט ברוך אתה אדוני ומלך החסד אתה ומשפט סיבה בכל חמינים בכל Rabbi Duvet Holy Bay, Amarai, Karasum, Okukarisha, and Rouse, Sakeros, Saveros, Magerbis, and Nia, and Rabbi Ameno, Baruch Atadonai, Oivin, Omania City, Kimba, Mega, Israel, Alpha, and Other City, the Aleno, Yamuna, Rabbi, Sense, Echol haotachim v'shim hadvienu v'sitakim lemahim v'lo nevoshki v'havatagnu baruch ata Adonai shanu miktal asadikim sh'la'inir k'merachamim t'ashuv v'sisto v'socha k'asher divarta v'kitzer abidatecha v'kera v'socha tachinu v'nei otza v'kera b'yamin v'yin olam baruch ata Adonai v'nei Yerushalayim v'sema abidatecha v'kera sotnia b'karno tarum שעשה כפילי שעושה נקבינו כל היום ברוך אתה אדוני מי הכרת ישוע שמה כולל עונה עלינו אף רחם הרחם עלינו וקבל ברחמינו ולעשון עשי שעשינו תיקיות שומע תפילוס שתנאמין אתה ומלפניך מלכנו ריקן אל תשיבנו כי אתה שומע תפילוס כל פה ברוך אתה אדוני שומע תפילה אלוהינו בעמך ישראל ונשפרסן שחרר לחדשי עבודה ליהודי וישכה וישי ישראל Sibilasan behavar se cabel de razón se gire razón también la Israel la Meca de tradición eneno shubek elección berachamim baruch ata Adonai mahasi sin la solución amen amen dos. Acá vean el ceja de Berajot es hermano. Vean el ceja de Berajot es el favor que Berajot Jacob. Kilo, Kalud, Rahameja, Barojen, Kilo, Samu, Hazdeja, y Meolan, Kilinolach. Vean Tulan, Isvare, Beis Roman, Beis Naseshin, Hamakeno, Tamido Lambaet, Bejok, Regilu Casela, Galelo, Shin, Haron, Alan, Kito, Ael. ישרסנו ורסנו סלע חרך הטוב ברוך אתה אדוני
ברוך שמוי
שמך ולכן אלה הוידוי
אמן
שים שלום טובה וברכה חיים חן וחסד ורחם עלינו והכל ישראל עמך ולכן רבינו כולנו ברכה באור פניך כי באור פניך נשאת לנו אמר רבינו כל רסיים והחווה חסד וצדק וברכה ברחמים וכיום בשלום וטוב בעיניך לברך אס עמך ישראל וכל אס וכל שעה בשלומך ברוך אתה אדוני
ברוך שמוי
ורק אס עמו ישראל בשלום
אמן vamos já que aí vai
Así se hacemos así menos me marca yo un país que obedecemos no hay becham de emar
يا بلاد يا طني كرادي يا دينا يا رحم بخان نرى خفاي برا قصد بس قصد ضفي
haciendo los hijos a dabar que vos shemeja behasleno behaper a hadusino leman shemeja kadabis kadashi meraba
Amén
almadi berach nuse beasbimo nuse besmar kane bekarem shehem
Amén
behono bekereho beIsrael bagalab sman karibim bru amen
Amén Shira
Salve, salve, chime de Kureshia, Beriku, Ela Mikorbecasa, Beshirasa, Tush Bekasa, Benemasa, Miran, Belma, Biru, Amen, Kabes, Rozefon, Abu Delfon, Bechor, Israel, Kadan, Abu Khodi, Bishmaya, Biru, Amen, Shalem, Ravami, Shemaya, Bechaim, Tobin, Aleno, Akol Israel, Biru, Amen, Se Shalom, Roma, Huye, Se Shalom, Aleno, Akol Israel, Biru, Amen. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך יעקב הארץ ויפתחו יהיה ענה אחת ושמו אחד.
What do I say? Yeah. On page 117. Amém. 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 Shira, Baruch Israel. honey. Ishtabar, Yisrael, Yisadar, Yisalel, Yisalal, Shnei, Kodasham, Amen. Kol, the Krasa, Shirasa, Tushbekasa, Nechamasa, the Ring, the Alma, the Imru. Amen. Amen. Hey, Shlomo, Rabba, Shammai, Bechai, Tobi, Aleinu, Al Kol Yisrael, Amen. Aseh Shalom, Dimar Mav, Aseh Shalom, Aleinu, Al Kol Yisrael, Amen. Yisgadal, Shemei Rabah, Amen. Yamal, Be Bra, he was saved, Yamli, Makusei, Yatzma, Porkane, Korei, Mishiche, Amen. Chayechon, Yam Echon, Chaye, Bechol, Beit Yisrael, Marah, Bizman, Maariv, Amen. Amaya, Yisbareh, Yisrabar, Yisrael, Yisramah, Yisnaseh, Yisadar, Yisalal, Shnei Kodasham, Amen. Leila Min Chol, Barasa, Shirasa, Benechamas, Murina, Alma, Imru, Amen. Al Yisrael, Amadei, Yaakov, Samidei, Al, Kol, Aski, Arais, Asra, Baras, Hadain, Vedi, Achol, Asar, Lechei, Lachon, Shlomo, Rabba, Hina, Chista, Rachamim, Chaim, Arich, Umenzoina, Varicha, Ufarkana, Min, Kadam, Avoyim, Tibishmaya, Imru, Amen. Yehei, Shlomo, Rabba, Min, Shmaya, Chaim, Tobi, all Kol Yisrael, Amen. Aseh Shalom, Dimama, Hu Aseh Shalom Aleinu, all Kol Yisrael, Amen. Yashua, today in Jewish history. Before we get to tonight's yard site, the yard site of the Rambam, very special yard site. Today is the yard site of Reb Aryeh Leib Heller, the author of the K'tzais HaChoshen, learned in many yeshivas. It's a staple sefer in many yeshivas called the K'tzais HaChoshen. His yard site is today, passed from 1812s, Sham Shavaliah. Today is also the yard site of Judah Turo, not the car rental company Turo, but he is the Turo of Turo Synagogue. Actually, his father was the rabbi of Turo Synagogue in Rhode Island, in Newport, Rhode Island, and he's the writer, famous writer we spoke about before. University? Huh? Yeah, he's also for the university. Also, he was the writer. Yeah, he's the writer. He wrote the check.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he was an underwriter. He wrote the check. So today's yard site is the Sham Shavaliah. Just we missed it yesterday. Was the yard site of Huna Mari Bar Zutra. Huna Mari Bar Zutra, known as Huna. one of the great Talmudic sages, also the Reish Galusa. He was the, for practical purposes, he was the Rebbe of his generation. He was the Reish Galusa. He was the head of the Gidden in exile. He was the head of the Gidden in Bavel in Iraq, and the Babylonians did they executed him. Imagine the Rebbe of his generation, the chief rabbi of Iraq. So he was. They executed him together with Rebbe Sharshia and several others. And Shaks. Shana Aliyah. It's also the art. It's also the art of Nei Sachar, and the Dubna Magid. Dubna Magid is famous for all his mashal and for all his parables. When the Vilna Gaon wanted to get Musar, he wanted someone to tell him off. He asked the Dubna Magid to tell him off. To give him. So, tonight is like he says, the yard side of the Rambam. The Rambam's a biggie. The Rambam is the first one to take Torah from all over, from all different parts of Gemara and everywhere, and to codify it. He's the first one to take something and put it, divide it by section, make it easy. Before him, it was so much more difficult to learn. The Rambam had a very, very tough childhood. Very tough. His whole life was tough. From being orphaned at a young age, from getting married and losing his wife and child, and then getting remarried, from having to run away. He didn't have a childhood. He was constantly on the run. He was born in Spain. He had to run away to Morocco. He had to run away from Morocco, Egypt, and he was someone who was completely given over to community and to colleagues, given over to communal affairs everywhere, not just his own surroundings, but everywhere it was called for. There was trouble in Yemen. He was writing to them the famous, actually the whole Mar Nevuchim is written for the Yemen. He was big. He was one of the biggest in history. So it says
He's the one that made all the kosher, isn't he? The one that wrote down how kosher was not good.
No, but the Rambam did codify, give us some. He didn't. Hashem told us what's kosher, not kosher. The Rambam pulled together from different sources, but it made it easier for us. The Rambam passed away, so I think they're originally planning on burying him in Egypt, and he was placed on a camel. And it didn't stop where it was supposed to stop, and continued going. Everyone realized what was going on, and the funeral procession continued, and it went all the way to Tiberia, from Egypt all the way to Tiberia, and it stopped where it stopped. That's exactly where his cave is until today. In the past 5-6 years, they rebuilt it. But they rebuilt the Rambam's cave, that whole area. It's so beautiful. They did such a beautiful job there. Thanks to your side, and Shem should have an aliyah. I saw somewhere he's known as the Chabad of Halacha. What the Rebbe did for Chassidus, and interesting, they're yartek in the same week. What the Rebbe did for Chassidus, where he put in, it was the Chachma Bin and Das, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the intellectual, took Chassidus an intellectual pursuit. The Rambam did that for Halacha. He took Halacha from a whole different angle, and that's why, maybe just like the Alter Rebbe had many opponents, the Rambam also had many opponents. The Rambam didn't have an easy time. Perhaps his most difficult part of his life was not all the trouble from everything else. And his brother passing was also a big deal. His brother supported him. His brother David supported him completely. And his brother passed away. Another devastation Rami was.
But his opponents were only from France. They weren't locals.
He had a lot of opponents from everywhere.
No, he's from Spain, but the Ashkenaz gave him opponents. Oh, Yehuda actually.
Ramban, Rabbi Yoina.
They're from Spain.
Rabbi Yoina was from Spain?
Yes.
No, but they weren't opposed to his Mishnah Torah. Only the French. The Ashkenazi.
No, what do you mean? Rabbi Yoina was the Ramban. They were all
No, Rabbi Yoina came back and supported it.
after he passed away.
Oh, that was in his life.
After he passed away, that's when he went to his caver to ask for forgiveness and
Yeah, I was somebody against.
No, I know.
we have 2 minutes. All right, so we're middle of a halach over here regarding this employer which told his employee, he says, you know what, I'm paying you, what was the payment? How much he's getting a year? Huh? $20 a year? $20 a month he was getting? I was getting extra $20. Right, you're giving him a very for a travel expense. So the question is, whatever the amount is, whatever it was from Hialeah, right? It was from Hialeah to here. Where was it? This area. All right, and he checked Uber. He said the price was $18 with Uber, so I'm giving you an extra $36. And now the question is, who's want to get those? Mayor gave the ride, right? Mayor said, "Come with me." And now he got a free ride. And the question is, does he have to give back the Uber money, or does he not have to give back the Uber money? That was the question. And so the halacha it depends on. Okay, so the source for the answer we're giving is if someone tells their wife, "Don't do this. Don't try this at home." But the Torah gives every scenario. It says if someone tells the wife, "You know what? I'm giving you $20 a week for family food," and she figures out a way to spend only $17, or she only makes $17 worth, and the other $3 they're just going to go hungry, skipping lunch that week. So the halacha is that she has to give back the money, the $3. She has to give it back to her husband.
As if he's makbid.
Hopefully he's not makbid, and hopefully he gives her more than $20. Hopefully he gives her a credit card and says whatever it is, and there's no such issues. Because there's such issues, then the issues are way bigger. But the halacha is the halacha. And the halacha is that if there's leftover money, if he stipulated that's what the money is for, then if that's the stipulation, then that's what it has to be used for. And therefore, if the employer says, I'm giving you this money specifically for the because it's going to cost you transportation, and now it's not costing transportation, then he has to give the money back because that was the stipulation. However, if that's not the stipulation, but rather he just says, I'm giving you, you know what, it costs you $36 a day for Uber. I want you to travel like a mensch. It's on me. Your travel is on me. It was done in such a way that I'm giving you an extra $36 a day. So then it's not just about the Uber. It's about, I'm giving you an extra $36 a day.
Part of the money.
It's part of the package. And therefore he doesn't have, if it's in such a way, then he doesn't get to give the money back.
That's what they're doing in a lot of companies. They give you money for possession. You can do whatever you want.
So, right. So, but if the stipulation is that I want you specifically to go, I don't want you to be dependent on anyone else. I want you to be self-dependent. I want you to be here on time, and I want you to be a comfortable ride. I don't want you to go by bus. He says, I don't want you to go by bus because then you're going to be tired for whatever reason. So if that's part of the stipulation,
It's a condition.
if that's the condition, then the condition has to be met. And if you didn't meet the condition, then the money has to be returned because that's all. The money's only for that condition. However, if the money is just, I'm giving you extra money and do whatever you want with it. I don't care. I'm giving you donut money. You want to use it for bagels instead, and you want to use it for whatever you want. I'm a donut guy. I'm a cop. In my previous life, I'm a police officer. I like Dunkin' Donuts, and I want you. And that's my thing, donuts.
Maybe he's giving it to all his employees, and one of them happened to be somebody directly.
So if it's specific to be used to that, then you have to get it. If it's not specific, then you can join extra $30. And yes, you do have to give my on it.
What if Uber says today you have $10 off?
So the same thing. If the stipulation was I'm only giving you the money to cover that cost, then you have to give the difference. You have to give it back the difference. If you got an Uber discount. If that wasn't part of the stipulation, then by all means.
No, he didn't mean don't spend 36. He means go with you. With the Uber there was okay. Then it's not because he really did what he said.
So if there was, I'm covering your Uber. Give me your give me the receipts, and I'm covering. Then even if he doesn't say give me the receipts, but that's what he meant. Tell me whatever the Uber costs that I'm going to spend. Then you have to.
So what
and if you have an option to save this guy some money and get a discount to get the 50% coupon, then you're obligated. You're obligated as an employee. You're obligated to make your employer as much money as possible. And part of making as much money as possible, saving as much money as possible. And then you're obligated to take that coupon.
By showing you this, you have to be exact what you're saying.
Yes.
The condition has to be
in general, in business and in everything, we're supposed to be clear. Everything should be clear. No, we shouldn't be vague.
You have to say what you allow, what's not allowed.
Yes. And we can put it in writing. Maariv, page 118. Who wants to down Maariv? 1,000. Oh man.
Payino Barakimino Behendigan, Iman Balala, Isabel, Semina Leoni, Barakatazanai, Eva Magistra,
Israel, Yeah, after Isa,
Marky Badana Yakob, Yakozimena Brahmatazanai, Israel.
Amen. 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 Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Shmi Rav Mulach Yalom Nice Play. Amen. 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 There's a key going on. There's Nada, business. Amen. Amen. Tomorrow morning, davening at 9 o'clock goes over the Minyan Biga Shikoya.